What are podcasts and do I listen to them? Let's get into it. What's up, guys and gals? Mirror Mask here. Topic of today, I've been thinking about it, is podcasts. Let me explain what a podcast is real quick. I used to think a podcast was a bunch of dudes sitting around a table talking about news and stuff. That's what I used to think. Until I was live streaming a couple years back, and one of my viewers was like, hey man, you should check out this podcast called We're Alive. And I was like, what is that? So I dug into it. Turns out, I found this out a couple years ago. Turns out, not all podcasts are just boring people talking about news and stuff. A lot of them are story-based. So let me list my favorite ones, and I'll tell you a little bit about them. And this is what I listen to when I'm out riding or when I'm working and I want to throw some headphones on. I don't listen to music anymore. It's mainly podcasts. All right, number one, top of the list is We're Alive. We're Alive is a podcast about these survivors of this, I guess, catastrophe. You could call it an invasion, you could call it zombie apocalypse, you could call it a bunch of things, but it's not really aliens and it's not really zombies, it's kind of something else. But it follows this group of people who are kind of just making their way through this post-apocalyptic kind of world. It's fully voice acted. All of these are fully voice acted, the ones on my list. It's just badass. Like, it is awesome as hell. That shit will suck you in. It follows the ups and downs. It follows them building forts. It follows them, securing supplies. It follows, some of them die. You deal with that. It's just emotional roller coaster. It's badass, man. It'll suck you in. There's a crap load of episodes. The good thing is, We're Alive is completely over, which means that you can kind of binge listen to all the seasons. And there's a lot of episodes. There's like, I think, close to 100 episodes or more. Just shit, hours and hours and hours, probably 100 plus hours of listening. It's just awesome. All right, second one on my list is a relatively new one, and it's called Marsfall. And it follows a group of colonists who are sent to Mars to colonize Mars. And some stuff happens, things don't exactly go according to plan, yada yada yada. It's a damn good story. A lot of these I can't really tell you too many details, otherwise it'll just kind of give it away. And I want you guys to experience the podcast if you choose to listen to them, and I don't want to spoiler alert them for you. So yeah, definitely check out Marsfall. Amazing. All right, third one is Limetown. Limetown follows this investigative reporter who, it takes place 10 years after this mysterious disappearance of this entire science facility town compound thing called Limetown. It's 300 people there and they all vanish and nobody knows what the hell happened to them. I mean, they just left all their stuff and everything. They were just gone. And it follows this reporter, and she's trying to unravel the mystery of Limetown. And because one of her relatives, I guess, lived at Limetown or something. I don't want to give away too much, but definitely check out Limetown. So that's the three story-based ones that are in my top 5. We're Alive, Marsfall, and Limetown. All right, now these next two they're not exactly, story dramas with full cast. They're by a guy named Aaron Mahnke. Now, you may be familiar with Aaron Mahnke if you've ever seen the Amazon TV show Lore. Well, that started off as a podcast called Lore. He does 2 of them, and this is my number 4 and 5. Lore and Cabinets of Curiosity. Or Cabinet of Curiosities. Aaron Mahnke. Look him up. Aaron Mahnke. Lore tells a lot of the folklore stories throughout the history of humanity. It covers, the Holda folk, or the elves, the goblins, the trolls, whatever you want to call them. There's some ghost story stuff in there. science fiction, except all this stuff's true. It's not fiction. I don't know why I said science fiction. I meant, you know, science, sci-fi type stuff, you know, alien type stuff, that kind of stuff. But it's all true. All these are verified, documented, legitimate historical things. Look at that dog. He's just hanging out and running. It's amazing. The dude, I love the way he narrates them. He's got music in the background that fits, you know, the theme of what the story is. It's just awesome. All right, and the second big podcast he does is called Cabinet of Curiosities, and that one it focuses more on individual people and tells like weird and outrageously cool facts about them. Like for example, one of them, I'll just tell you one of them. And I didn't know this until I heard this. Abraham Lincoln was shot by John Wilkes Booth, right? Well, it turns out John Wilkes Booth's brother, Edwin Booth, I think it was about a week before John Wilkes Booth shot Abraham Lincoln, Edwin Booth saved Abraham Lincoln's son from death on a train platform. Like, what the hell are the odds of that? So it turns out, he goes on to explain, you know, Edwin Booth and John Wilkes Booth did not really get along that well. So they kind of, you know, parted ways a long time ago and didn't really keep up with each other. And Edwin Booth was, you know, I want to do good in the world, that kind of stuff. John Wilkes Booth was like, you know, all for whatever, you know, whatever the cause is kind of thing. And so he wound up shooting Abraham Lincoln. But a week earlier, his brother saved Abraham Lincoln's son, and after Abraham Lincoln had died, Edwin Booth received a handwritten letter from Abraham Lincoln thanking him for saving his son. I mean, how fucking cool is that shit, man? It's just little stories like that on Cabinet of Curiosity by Aaron Mahnke. And there's just hundreds of these stories. So, I mean, you could just throw on your earbuds or your Bluetooth headset, whatever, and just roll out, man. I do it while I ride motorcycles. It gives me a way to kind of just focus on something while also focusing on the road, but not be distracted by like music. All right, now for number 6, this one's also by Aaron Mahnke, but this is kind of in a category of its own. It's called Unobscured. It's one of his newest podcasts. Now, I love everything by Aaron Mahnke. Let me just say that. That dude's research is legit. Like, that shit is badass. All right, so Unobscured. Unobscured dives in. It's a seasonal thing. So every season they focus on one topic and dive deep into it. The first season was on the Salem witch trials. And man, I don't know where he gets all his research from, but his team of researchers are badass, man, because that shit was very good and very in-depth, and it was very entertaining. But I don't know what season 2 or what's going to be on the palette in the future. I just know the season 1 for that's over now, and it was on the Salem witch trials, and it was awesome. I loved every damn minute of it. I mean, it's like crazy, man. I'll listen to it in my helmet, then I'll get to work and I'll hook it up to my earbuds, my Bluetooth earbuds, and I'll listen to it the whole day I'm working. I'll listen to it on the way home. I'll listen to it when I'm like laying down in the bed at nighttime or whatever. I'll just turn it on. I mean, dude, you get hooked on podcasts. If you ever try a podcast and you like hearing really cool stories and all this kind of stuff, you'll get hooked. You'll get hooked. I mean, like I said, I used to think podcasts were a bunch of news-based things and all this stuff, or people talking about topics or whatever. I had no idea they were story-based up until a few years ago. But yeah, I mean, there's some other ones. There's like Wolf 36, I think it's Wolf 365. There's Welcome to Night Vale. There's all these really cool ones, but those right there are my top 5 and, well, 6. I guess I listed 6 of them. But those are my top ones that I listen to. And man, I really recommend that you go check out We're Alive, Limetown, Marsfall, cabinet of curiosities, unobscured, and lore. You will fall in love with those damn things, man. They're just badass because they're very professionally voice acted. I mean, they have sound effects, they have all this stuff. It's not like people just sit, it's not like an audiobook. Let me put it that way. I guess that's what I'm trying to wrap it up and say. It's not like an audiobook where somebody just sits down and reads to you. No, it's like really involved and engaged. So yeah, definitely check those out. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up, guys. I don't know if you noticed, I'm using my Hero 4 now as a kind of self cam, and this is my new Hero 7 Black. I'm trying it out right now. The only reason I got it, now I'm a huge advocate of saving money where you can, but when I found out that I can record in HEVC, in high efficiency recording, HEVC, that's what I call it, HEVC, but it's actually, I think it's H.265 is the technical term for it, which results in way smaller video files. I was like, oh shit, I gotta get that, I gotta get it, because space for me is a big deal when I'm gonna be on the road and kind of like vlogging my journey across the country and on a lot of these long rides that me and Todd are going on in the future and all this stuff. Yeah, man, like file size is important. It's really important for storing the video and all that stuff. I mean, once the video's edited, you know, a lot of the footage will just be trashed to free up space, but it's not like I'm gonna sit down every single day and edit at the end of the day. I mean, there may be 2 or 3 days where I'm backed up on video and I gotta churn through it and all that, and I need a place, you know, I need room to store 3 days worth of footage until I can get to it, kind of thing. So having the videos in a lot smaller format, compression, oh man, it's just gonna be beautiful. I didn't get it for the hyper smooth, I didn't get it for any of the other hyped up reasons. It literally was simply for the HEVC, the HEVC. That's what I wanted, and that's why I got it. Yeah, so that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. You guys make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Do it! And I will see you guys in the next video. You guys take care. Mirror Mask out. Peace.